My name's Louise. I work for Women's Aid in Antrim, Ballymena, Larne, Carrickfergus and Newton Abbey, and I work with the Family First project. It's funded by the Big Lottery, and I work with women and children and mums and children together in their own homes that have been directly affected by domestic violence and intimate abuse. So in our job we see domestic violence, coercive control, intimate partner violence and child abuse, physical, emotional, sexual, financial, the use of children. Children suffer abuse from prenatally. They witness, overhear, they suffer directly. So some of the challenges, the staff are working directly with women and children who have suffered the abuse in the home day and daily. So they're hearing and overhearing over and over again women and children's stories. So how this affects them is they're absorbing some of the trauma that the families have suffered. If they don't find ways of getting rid of that, their trauma pot can fill up. So we have increased supervision. We have Aspire, which is a free counselling service for staff. It's about support and recognition that they're there doing the job and making a difference, and they're there wanting to make change. And as well as the challenges is about taking a step back to appreciate families' journey, the distance they've travelled. There's great partnership working with social services. Families do come a long way. It's going on that journey with families to make differences. Children coming off the Child Protection Register and increased working with partnership with social services. We can advocate very strongly for women and children that have suffered domestic violence, and it's building up awareness as well. We this year got a partnership working award with social services. So that was a major achievement too. So it's about acknowledging the good times. Well, domestic violence is a really complex issue, but in relation to responding to trauma, we've become more trauma informed now, in particular how trauma impacts on the brain. In very simplistic terms, you have an upstairs brain and a downstairs brain. You have your spinal cord coming up here, so your thumb would be the amygdala, would be your body's alarm system that would prepare the body for fight or flight, or we would talk about the 5 Fs, which is fight, flight, freeze, flop and friend. Friend is compliance and obedience, and that's what keeps our families alive. Now, when you use these defence mechanisms and they don't work, then that disables them and weakens them. So the brain's very clever and it learns a script of what works. So what works is compliance and obedience. So when under threat and when the thinking part of your brain, the free frontal cortex, is dominated by the amygdala, and the amygdala floods the brain with cortisol and adrenaline and prepares the body for fight or flight, the victims go straight to obedience and compliance. And then after the threat is removed, the victims go back to feeling, why did I comply? Why did I do? Why am I back here again? This would be particularly of benefit when you're working with high-risk victims that have support plans in place and are advised by social services to have non-contact orders, and then the woman, the perpetrator, the immediate threat is at the door, and she opens the door and complies, and then the domestic violence happens, and then after it there's a lot of blame, there's a lot of guilt, there's a lot of fear of, oh no, what have I done? I've put him before my children. No, she hasn't. She's responded to the immediate threat, and she's responded with survival. So that's helped us to help women to try and alleviate some of that guilt, but it also helps us with staff because it's increased empathy, because with domestic violence you take nearly 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, and understanding that it's a journey and you're on the journey with the family, but there's no judgment, the door's always open.